Hello and welcome to a new channel and a new video. So, a lot of meetings in the last couple months to make this happen. Just keep in mind, I'm also editing this. I have to record it on my computer because my cameras, for some reason, are not working properly. And then that means I can ignore someone. And you guys don't know who it is, and you never know who it is. Anywho, so today we're doing the Survivor Series 2020. It's the day after, so it's the 23rd. Keep in mind again, I'm editing this. I don't have what I was wanting to have set up. I was gonna do it against a completely white wall, or without all this stuff in the background. It looks fun to deal with. So, welcome to the Big Egos Talk WWE or whatever. So, right now it's just me. I'm editing. I'm doing everything. So if you don't, I eventually want to have the thing pop up beside me, showing like what I'm talking about. But first video for always problems. Made the channel today. We also have for those of you that are new to me in general, we have a gaming channel and an in real life channel. Links are down below. I have to set all that up. Also Twitter, my Facebook are the gaming channels, but Twitter, but I'm not going to make 50 Twitters and 50 Instagrams and all that fun stuff. So, links are down below, and then the links to all the either people that are going to help me or do something for me with this stuff or whatever, or just are part of HQ in general. Links are down below. I'm having a bad hair day, like always. I mean, I'm bald up front. So, let's get into this. So, we start off, okay, so this is the 30th year of The Undertaker. So, I get that some of these characters are because of the first Survivor Series that Undertaker was in 1990. I get it. Don't be a butthole in the comments. So the gobbledygooker, which was the worst idea ever, was there. So R-Truth introduced him on the kickoff show. Then the gobbledygooker pinned R-Truth for the 24/7 challenge and championship. Right on the kickoff show, right behind the announcers. And I'm like, that was the worst idea ever to try to bring him back all these years. And now it's like they want him to be a permanent part of the show. Now, granted, it's back to those days again where it was the 1990s, and they can say and do whatever they want again, because that's what made them the most money at the time, not appealing to kids. So, that being said, that was the first thing I watched. And then we got to the Men's Royal Rumble, traditional with Survivor Series, apparently. I've been watching more wrestling lately. I watch non-stop, old stuff, and whatever else. I have no notes, by the way, so I'm going off of a video of Survivor Series, and I'm clicking through and then talking about what I remember from that. So, we had the Men's Royal Rumble, where, okay, Miz, it was one of the last people. he got kicked under the rope. And I don't get what about the over the rope thing, because I would think if you've gone over the rope but you roll underneath the rope, and if you go onto the apron and back into the ring, that would require, or that would still count as over the rope if you get thrown through the ropes or under the ropes a second time. I don't get it. Whatever. It's what all the years that I've watched of the Royal Rumble. I watched probably all the Royal Rumbles. They're terrible at explaining it, and of course Michael Cole. Whatever. So then, so we had Rey Mysterio and Dominique in there, and what's his name, Murphy. The kind of Mysterio faction, which I'm glad we're getting back to those factions again. So I thought it was either going to have to be, it was going to be Rey passing the torch at the end. I thought it was going to be Dominique and Rey at the end, partway through the match. And then Rey got kicked out right after I thought that. It's like, no, it would have been perfect if they passed the gauntlet, or if Rey passed the gauntlet, because he already passed on his moves, like his finishers and his submission holds, to Dominique Mysterio, which, by the way, is one of my favorites now. And I was hoping that there would be like a gauntlet match between or kind of passing the gauntlet or passing the torch, the end of the Royal Rumble there. That would have been perfect. No. And then Miz, who wasn't close to the end, wasn't technically kicked out, ended up, and I was hoping that it was like, hey, we're trying to get Dominique Mysterio over so he would win the Royal Rumble. They didn't ring the bell. Miz went in. I think he hit the skull crushing finale, and he went out of the ring over the top rope, which was completely garbage. If you want to get Rey Mysterio over, Rey is already over. Dominic Mysterio over, have him win the Royal Rumble. I get that Miz probably went into business for himself there and said, no, you're not going to get it because I was here for however long Miz was around, but Miz wasn't there from a kid. Like, I would say that Dominique would have a little bit more say, or a little bit more weight, pulling a little bit more weight there, because he was essentially a child actor in the wrestling world. I don't know what to call it. So that really bugged me. And then the show actually started, and not just the kickoff show, and we now have the men's team versus from Raw versus the men's team from SmackDown. This was nuts. From all the Survivor Series that I actually seen, of course at first they weren't getting along. Braun Strowman, who every single Survivor Series, because he's the monster that they always want on the team, and he's always on Raw for some reason, always has to pull them together. Like, his team always, now AJ Styles was the self-proclaimed, whatever the words are, captain, and no one liked that, but Braun is always like, get your act together, or else I will start kicking or doing my finishers on you all the time. Now, he didn't say those exact words, but, so, when they actually pulled together, they actually got a clean sweep. They took out everybody. They took out everybody, and then it was just Jay left, Jay Uso, who is brainwashed by Roman Reigns, his cousin, and, well, okay. What really was weird to me, that's kind of his character, is Seth Rollins, the architect, the Kingslayer, whatever you want to call it, gave himself up to Sheamus. So Sheamus hit the bro kick right in his face. Like, this was a stiff kick. There was a lot of stiff spots, this Survivor Series, because they went back to the Attitude Era, or even before that, where they can get away with that. So now there's a warning, by the way, in front of every single WWE show again. So he gave himself up, and then they all fought on the outside, like, why did you do that? What's wrong with you? So, but then we get to the end where it's just Jey Uso, after Baron Corbin and Kevin Owens and all the other people get booted out, and he ends up losing, and then it cuts to later on. I think they cut out a lot of this in this video. Then it goes to later on where they're outside Roman Reigns' dressing room. Of course, he gets the biggest dressing room and Roman Reigns tells him to get the heck out of here. Like, he can't deal with losers, not tonight, is what he said. So they both left after Jay and Jimmy. Jimmy left first because Roman's the boss. So then we get to the tag team championship match, champion versus champion. Not a title match, but it's a match of who's the best. And at first I was like, why are we not letting the New Day win? Because I really like the New Day, and I'm glad that Big E was able to join them again, because it sucks that they broke them up in the draft. But then I realized, they're putting over the Street Profits so that the Street Profits can get a little bit of momentum. And then it dawned on me, the New Day are such professionals that yes, they'll put on a very stiff match, but then we get they're really good at putting people over. Now, not over the top rope, it's not a Royal Rumble. Everybody who was watching this probably knows what putting over is. I only learned that when I actually started watching it full time. So putting over is, for those of you who are new to wrestling, is when you end up losing, in Rollins' words, for the greater good, I guess, but to give that other team momentum. You might be very good yourself, like the New Day is, but they're also really good at putting on a good match, and because of that good match, and then having the Street Profits winning, they end up getting a better reaction from the crowd. You just look out for each other apparently in wrestling. I would love to be a wrestler, but yeah. I was shocked that Montez Ford ended up hitting the Trouble in Paradise and then there was there was a lot of like tributes to the Undertaker during this, which is very sweet. That a lot of them did. I don't remember which matches, and I'm not going to watch the whole series again and make notes because I don't have the time. So they got the pin, sure, and then I don't know if this is in order or whatever. Then we got the match between Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley, or the Hurt Business. I hate Sami Zayn with a burning passion, and because I also like Kevin Owens. And Sami Zayn cannot shut up. So he tries to do some shenanigans to try to get hit by one of the Hurt Business, so that he wins the match by disqualification. But then MVP ends up tripping him. I think Sami Zayn just purposely did that to make it look like he did. And then one of the other people from the Hurt Business was distracting the ref, so MVP ended up incapacitating Sami Zayn somehow and throwing him back in the ring, and then Bobby Lashley put on the Hurt Lock, or the Full Nelson, which ended up getting him the win. Now this is champion versus champion. This is not a title shot. So then we got Roman Reigns, and the thing with Roman Reigns telling Jimmy and Jay that he can't stand losers and to go away, and that there's no room at his table for losers because he's the head of the table. And then we get into the women's champion versus champion match, and quite frankly, this is I think one of the matches that they did an onus to the buckle bomb. They did the buckle bomb, and the snake eyes. The buckle bomb's someone else's. They did the snake eyes, where you smack someone's face on the buckle pad, which doesn't actually hurt apparently. Tribute to the Undertaker's move, and then we got some other crazy things happening, which again, I'm not really a big fan of watching the women perform. There's some women like Becky Lynch. I kind of miss her, but she should be back soon. The Bellas, those things, they're back too apparently. So there's a bunch of them that I actually liked when Bayley and Sasha Banks were together. That was good. But it always gets ruined on me. So if you haven't seen it already, go watch it. Because this is spoilers, Sasha Banks ends up picking up the win. And then we get into Graves. Don't know who that other commentator, and Braxton just talking randomly. And then we got the women's Survivor Series match. So from SmackDown and Raw, Lena, whatever. The ravishing Russian gets tagged in partway through, and they're all shocked because they just recently, or just today, or just in the beginning of the show, they said by no means does she get actually tagged in. So they're losing people left, right, and center after they did the long intros to start the matches. Bailey ends up losing the first one out, I think, and she's the team captain. And then eventually they're fighting on the outside with Bianca Belair, which is actually a really cool wrestler. And then Bianca Belair throws the irresistible force, and she's not really irresistible, over the barricade, and they both get counted out. And Bianca Belair, by the way, is the last one from SmackDown. So Lana wins the Survivor Series. She's the last survivor after all the pain that Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler put her through the tables so many times, like 7 or 8 times apparently. And Nia Jax had to be restrained by 2 officials, which that's not enough for her, but whatever. So Lana becomes the winner because she got told to sit on the stairs so that she couldn't tag herself in or get tagged in at all. So Nia Jax ruined it for her, but she also ruined it for Raw in a sense because you have more momentum if you have more players still in it. So there was 1 left from Raw and 0 from, and Lana hardly did anything. She went in the match a little bit, and then they told her to stand on the, and you could see her, she's crying, she's happy, her makeup smudged, because who wears makeup to the ring? Because it is going to get smudged. I don't even wear makeup for lights, camera, action, so my face is however it is. So, and then we got the male champions match, which I thought was really good, because Roman cannot stop Drew McIntyre, which is where I love his new ring wear. It's so cool, and his new intro is so cool. But going back to that, you could not put him down. I mean, eventually they did because they cheated. Because he went through the table, he went into like 5 ring posts, Drew McIntyre, and he went through the barricade, which, this is a brand new building. That's like putting you through a cement wall. Because these railings you never go through, or these barricades you never go through, but and everyone was shocked because that wasn't in the plan. It was through the table and into the barricade, not through the barricade. But Drew McIntyre kicked out of both those things. Speared through the barricade, but whatever. And in another spear, which has way more momentum because they came off the ropes 5 times, and then they just kept doing locks just to wear each other down. Jay Uso butted into the fight to save his cousin and his leader, the cult leader. Everyone has to have a cult nowadays. It's really strange. And then you could not, and Roman keeps saying this is not the same Drew McIntyre I fought in the past. So Jay ended up butting in, and then Roman ended up winning, and then Jay is back in his good books. But this whole time, this whole match, they kept looking at the entrance ramp for The Miz, because Miz is Money in the Bank. So The Miz had so many opportunities to cash in as well, but they kept getting distracted by looking up the exit and entrance ramp to see if Miz was coming. He didn't. But then again, yeah. And then, by the way, it kept cutting in and out because the WWE Network can't have so many people in watching at one time, and it's also done with Flash Media Player, which is going to be gone in, I don't know when you've seen this video, in December 2020. So, any case, so they're back in the good books. And then we have the most amount of legend superstars in the ring, the best talent I've ever seen. And I knew most of them. So we had people like Shane McMahon, John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, Jeff Hardy. These are all superstars that The Undertaker put over so that they could have a good career. And Jeff Hardy's rocking the Undertaker's 30-year symbol on his face, which is also cool. And then we had the Big Show, which we did not see since Randy Orton punted him in the face. And then we had the Godfather, which is a very good friend of the Undertaker. And then we had the Godwins, Kevin Nash, Booker T, which I'm not a big fan of, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who's a really cool wrestler, his brother Kane, and a whole bunch of others, Rikishi, and then we had a video package from The Undertaker. And then everyone cleared the ring in that time. Vince McMahon then took the ring, and which we haven't seen in a long time too, since WrestleMania, or no, before that, when he congratulated Triple H on his anniversary, 25 years. And then we actually had The Undertaker take the ring after he was announced by the devil himself, Vince McMahon. Which I was crying this whole time, and I might actually start crying again. And he did his every famous thing that he ever did in the ring, like his whole rolling his eyes thing. He did the whole lightning thing where he kneels on one knee and has his knee or his other leg out to the side and goes like this, and then the lightning strikes. And he also said all his famous lines. And he's like, after 30 years, this is a direct quote, roughly. I'm not going to probably say his exact words. After 30 years, it's time for me to put the Undertaker, or have the Undertaker rest in peace. And then he did the rolly eye thing. It was so touching. So, like I said, we're gonna get his last match at the WrestleMania, apparently against The Fiend. But speaking of future matches, there's Roman Reigns versus The Rock apparently. So The Rock is coming back for two pay-per-views next year. I wanted to see like other people in the ring during the Undertaker thing, like there was the highlights in his career that they missed, like Stone Cold Steve Austin. That might be a little bit hard, but you know, there was John Cena. There was all these great, but there was also people like Triple H there and Shawn Michaels. Just every favorite wrestler I kind of grew up with, in a sense, hearing about, because my family would not allow me growing up to watch wrestling. It's sad, but they were afraid I was gonna all parents are afraid that we're gonna all copy what they say. I'm having a bad hair day, so that's and it was beautiful. They had an elevator lift thing to bring him to the ring. They had all this pyro, and it was the best pyro I've ever seen out of the Undertaker's intro. So, if you didn't know, on my gaming channel, I have the bell as the notification from the Undertaker. But that being said, if you guys want to see more, because I'm going to be doing more of this. I don't know if I can actually set up a way to do like every single show, just stuff that has like more of a highlight to it, a highlight kind of thing to it where I can talk about it. We'll see. But if you guys liked it, make sure you hit the like button so that I can make more of these videos on this channel. Go check out all the links down below. And then also ring the bell to be notified whenever I upload on this channel or any other channel. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Well, why am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing with this with these videos yet. Bye bye. Oh yeah, and subscribe. Bye bye.